back, and we're just finishing up our spin here, so we just press open door. The door is going to open up, and we're going to be able to pull out our overnight culture, and we can see a big massive pellet. So this is the pellet we're going to be doing our midi prep on, and we're going to get all the plasma DNA out of there that we can. So all we got to do, come over to our liquid waste, and you're going to want to pour away from the pellet. So the pellet is right there, and I'm going to pour away from it. That way it just stays where it is and it doesn't try to like come out into the liquid waste. So I'm going to let that drip for a second and actually grab a paper towel. And I'm going to try to tap it out a little bit to make sure that we get all that liquid out as we can. And then we can resuspend. But before we resuspend, I actually like to do a little resuspension step, so I'm going to break up the pellet. I'm just going to recap and then vortex this for a little bit and just try to loosen up that pellet. It can be kind of hard to resuspend straight up just because that pellet is really tightly held together. So we can see it starting to degrade around the edges, and if we give it a few more seconds, it'll degrade even more. Almost there. That's probably good enough. We can see that we got a lot of that pellet, but we still have a little bit more left there. That's a good start though. So what we're going to be doing is adding all of our P1, but instead of adding only P1, we're going to be adding a little bit of water with that too. So we're going to be using the big ball thingy. I don't know what it's called. What is it called? Who knows? It is a mystery. And the serologic quartet. So we'll grab one of these. I'm actually going to flame this off. So I'm going to stick that in there. And in order to create a little vacuum in here, I just hold A and then squeeze, and then I'm good to go. So I'm going to be taking 4 mils of P1. So here's my P1. And I'm going to press S, and that'll suck it up. I'm just going to go, I'm going to fill this up to 10, and then I can just count how many mils that I'm injecting. So we're at 10, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then I'm just going to put it all back in. I didn't touch anything, so I know that that is clean. And then the P1 straight away goes back into the fridge. That has a bunch of RNAs in it, so we don't want that degrading. So now that we have our P1 in here, we're going to vortex it a little bit more, try to break up that pellet. And this is going to be kind of a headache to do. This is actually breaking up pretty well though. And you can see there's that pellet, it's getting smaller and smaller. Still there. Almost done. A few more seconds. And up. A few more seconds. And we're good. So now all we gotta do is add in 8 mils of H2O. So I already had P1 in here, so I'm gonna ditch that. And I'm gonna grab another serologic quartet. Actually, I just kept these up here. Falcon tube, and the reason why is because we're going to be playing with our midi prep in here. So I'm going to do my transfer, pour it in. When it gets bubbly and foamy, it's a little bit harder to pour, so just keep that in mind. And now I'm going to get my 8 mils of water, swish that around, and hopefully that'll pick up the rest of it. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go up to about, up to about 10, and I'm going to count out 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Empty it back in there. Swirl this around a little bit, try to pick up all that material. And then, slowly try to transfer it in there. So then I'm going to tap this all down, and the way that I try to get all the rest of that material up is with this serological baguette one more time. So I've got to make sure that it is empty. So expel, that's just water, so that's no biggie. And tap this down as much as I can. Try to get all my material down to the corner of this jar. And this is only if you have a bunch of foam left over. If you don't, whatever, it's all good. But just try to get all the material I can. I'm going to stick my pipette tip into that corner where all that foam is, and then start to suck it all up. There we go. That's the majority of my material. And just let it out right into that tube. So we probably got like 90% of our material there. That's good enough. So that is P1 resuspension. Let's cut it there, and we'll come back for the rest.